Okay, so in this video, we're going to look at exponential decay. So hopefully you've printed out the exponential decay worksheet. So we'll start off with our joke of the day. Why is the number 6 so scared? Because 7, 8, 9. 7, 8, 9. There it is. 7, 8, 9. Well, that's why. 7, 8, 9. Help. We're running. Okay. Exponential decay. So we have a graph and we have some equations. So let's start off maybe with these equations here. So we'll go with these equations. Okay, it's the same equation here, AC to the x. This time we have 1 minus. So whatever's in here has to be a decimal, has to be less than 1. A is the initial value like before where we start, the y-intercept. B is the percent decrease, so it's 1 minus. Okay, and remember, when it's percent, you divide by 100 to turn to a decimal. C is for a given value. It does not say decrease. It does not say decrease. Okay, in the question, it doesn't say decrease. C and 1 minus C has to be smaller than 1. So I've got an example. Usually go 1 minus 0.2 here, and here 0.8. C is 0.8. Okay, how does this graph look? Okay, so exponential decay. So if you have a graph here, it looks like this. So I'll use a different color. It starts off here and it comes down like that. Okay, so it goes like that. Or it could come out a bit more and comes down like that. Okay, these are both exponential decays. Okay, let's do some examples. Oh, half-life. What is half-life? So if the graph goes down like this, so if it comes down like this, over here, this is the initial value here. That's the start, initial value. Okay, initial value. The first number, that's the initial value. So then you take half of it. So you go to the halfway of it. Whatever that initial value is, you go half. You go across and then come down. And this is your half-life. Half-life. So there's your initial value. You go half of it, and then you go across and you have your half-life. Okay, let's do one. So our initial value is 200. It's 200 kilograms, so it's 200 right here. There's our initial value. There's the kilograms right here. There's the kilograms. There's the initial value. Okay, half of the initial value. So half is 100. So you go to 100. You go across where the 100 is. You do a straight line across. And then you come down. Where it meets, you come down. So you go across and come down. Maybe I can use one of these arrow things here. Okay, so you go across where it meets. And then you come straight down. And you'll find that it's about between the 6 and the 7, maybe 6.6. So you estimate it's about 6.6. Okay, over here it tells you years, so you add the word years here. Okay, you add years. Tells you right there that it's years. 6.6 years. Okay. Now we're going to do, we have an equation. A ball drops from a height of 200. So that's the initial value. So 200's here. That's the start. On each bounce, the ball rises to 85% of the initial height. So you put as a decimal 0.85 in here. This means the ball's height is 0.85 times its height. So you put it in the equation. Okay. You go over here and you then fill in the table. So the initial height is 200. So at 0, it's at 200. I can still write it in and I can still do the equation, but the initial height is 200. If you want the equation, you go 200, 0.85 to the 0. The next one, 200, 0.85. And maybe I'll make that a little clearer. Let's go to the eraser here. Okay, 0.85. to the 1, and then you can go 200, 0.85 to the 2. I'll put it all in here. 200, 0.85 to the 3. 200, 0.85 to the 4. 200, 0.85 to the 5, and 200, 0.85 to the 6. Okay, I'll get my calculator out here, and let's start doing these. So you go 200, not 211, 200 times 0.85 to the exponent 1, 170. Okay, next one. 200 times 0.85 to the exponent 2, 144.5. Next one. 200 times 0.85 to the exponent 3. Whoops. 122.8. Okay, we'll just scroll up here. Then we got 200 times 0.85 to the exponent 4, 104.4. And the next one, 200 times 0.85 to the exponent 5, 88.7. And finally 200 to, not 211, but 200 to the exponent times 0.85 to the exponent 6. And you get 74.4. Okay, now we're going to graph it. Okay, this time I'm going to move my graph over a little bit this time. I'll move it over. Okay, let's get some titles here. So at the bottom, oops, we'll do the writing here instead of that. Ball bounce. Okay. Over here, we have height, and I believe it's in meters, but we can go take a look. Okay, we change the font size. And same here, we'll just change the font size so we can fit everything. Okay. And height of ball, let's just check height of ball in meters. Yes. Okay, need a title ball bounce. I guess we'll call it a ball bounce up on top here. Let's call nice title up here. Movement of ball, maybe. Let's change it to 24. Okay, and go, oops, here, movement of ball. And we just move that over. Okay, we have to get to 200. So let's go by 20s this time. So every fifth one. So 20, 40, 60, 80. Right here we'll put a tick. And at 20, 40, 60, 80. And we'll put a tick. And to go a little smoother, this time I'll use my writing here. At that tick we're at 100. And up here we're at 200. Okay, every second one. So here we're at 1. Here we're at 2. Here I'll just move these in a second. 3. Oh, got 3 twice. So I'll make that 4. 5, and I believe there should be a 6. Okay, let's spread them out and put them in the right place. So 1 will go here, 2 will go here, 3 will go there, 4 will go here, 5 will go here, and 6 will go here. And I'll just use my mover to move it underneath the right place this time. Move it over here, move it over here, and move that over here. Create our axis here. Bring the axis up there. And we'll draw the axis over here. Okay, we got everything. Now we're ready to graph. So I know at 0 we're at 200. I don't know how I remember that. Just use a different color. At 0 we're at 200. Right there. Okay. At 1 we're at 170. So we go by 20s. So 100, 120, 140, 160, 170. We're right about here. Okay. Then we're at 144. So at 2 we're at 144. So at 200, 120, 144, right about there. Okay. Next one, we're at 122.8. So over here, at 3, we're at 122.8, right about here. Okay. Next one, we're at 104.4. 104.4, but 104. So at 4, we're at 104, just over the 100 mark. Okay, at 5, we're at 88.5. So at 5, we're at 88. So 20, 40, 60, 88, just about here. Okay, you just approximate. And the last one, we're at 74.4. So 10, 20, 40, 60, 74, about here. Okay, here we go. I'm going to try my best curve through there. So we're going to start here and do our best curve through all those points. And it goes on, so we put an arrow at the end. Okay, I've gone. This looks a little bit neater than before. I'm improving as I do these. Okay, so I'm getting a little bit better. Okay, I'm getting better. Okay, so graph looks like this. I'll show you I did a computer version. It's supposed to look like a curve like this. It just doesn't have the titles. Okay, so at this point, I will go to the second video. Okay, and I'll just